It may be beach weather outside, but for retailers, the holiday season has already begun. 2021 holiday e-commerce sales are expected to exceed 2020 benchmarks. Are you prepared to capture every customer revenue opportunity? With Quantum Metric, you can be. Their unique approach to the digital customer experience helps today's top retailers and e-commerce brands quickly identify and prioritize the big and small revenue opportunities that keep customers engaged and coming back. Visit quantummetric.com to learn more.
Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Editor-in-Chief of Total Retail, and I am joined on today's episode by Megan Brophy, who is the Senior Director of Marketing at Abercrombie and Fitch, as well as Abercrombie Kids. And we are going to be talking today with Megan about Abercrombie and its partnership with Facebook for its live stream video events. So thank you for joining me, Megan.
Thank you, Joe. It's great to be here.
So let's talk. I mentioned that you just partnered with Facebook and you're going to be doing some live shoppable events on the social platforms. Tell us a little bit about that partnership and why Abercrombie has decided to enter into it.
Yes. So yeah, live shopping is something that we have just ventured into with the Facebook team. They approached us at this point, only weeks ago, with the opportunity, selected 9 brands to be a part of the test, and we were one of the brands that they invited to be on it. And we very quickly jumped onto the opportunity, truthfully. And when we think about why, at the end of the day, we really want to listen to our customers. We are always seeking out new and innovative ways to connect with them. And this is yet one of those additional new ways that I think all brands and retailers included are trying to figure out what it means in the marketplace. It's just another kind of lever for us in the future of marketing as we continue to explore the world of social selling. So it really seemed like a no-brainer when they brought the opportunity to us. And I think what we've continued to talk about a lot with them throughout this process is the beauty of live shopping is it brings the in-store space and the digital space, which right now customers largely have to make a choice between one or the other for any brand. It brings those two things together. It allows you to have the beauty of some of that in-person humanity and connection and live engagement and Q&A that you get from an in-store experience, but let you do it on your own terms, in your own space, in the comfort of your own house, whatever you might be wearing that day, from your couch or from your lunch break at the office, whatever it might be. So it's a really great blend of the two, and I think that's why marketers are really excited to explore this space, and why Facebook is incredibly excited to continue to learn about it. It's an intimate and convenient opportunity to connect with customers and let customers connect back with brands. And customers today want to connect with brands in a human way. They want to know who's behind it, and that we're not just seen as corporations, but brands full of people that they can connect with and interact with. So, a lot of really great reasons why when they brought the opportunity to us, we jumped at it pretty quickly.
Yeah, it seems like a really exciting opportunity. And to your point, finding these innovative, fun, cool ways to engage with your customers and showing them kind of that this isn't just a bland personless organization that they're transacting with, that there actually is kind of that culture and the people behind the Abercrombie brand, which leads me into my follow-up question in terms of what the actual experience will be like. So I'm an Abercrombie customer. I want to check out one of these live stream events. Tell me a little bit about what the experience is like and how they can engage with Abercrombie during the live stream shoppable events.
Sure. So as at the time of this recording, we are actually only hours away from our number 2 event. So I'm coming to you live from what that experience is like because it's being set up just across the way from me at the moment. But the way that we're bringing these 3 within this test to life are we're holding them on our campus at our home office. We have this space that actually pre-COVID we had turned into a really casual studio space. We call it Studio 96. It has couches and dressing rooms and has been a place where we can bring and celebrate talent to our home office. So it became a really natural extension when we decided to do these live events as a great backdrop for these. So when we held our first one, it was hosted by one of our creative directors from our marketing team. and a dresses merchant. And the event was very specific to dresses, and it really with the idea of we're starting to go out in the world again. And, maybe all of us haven't gotten dressed in a while. So how can we bring to you the scale of dresses, whether you're just running out and doing errands or, having brunch with the girlfriends, up to being a guest at a wedding as those pick up again. So we really wanted to start doing some problem solving for our customers, and wanted to bring in some experts, which is why we brought our dresses merchant, so that live the team could speak to and bring the clothes to life, talk about why we made certain decisions, humanize who the people are behind the scene who are making these garments or designing these garments. And then we also had the models who were showcasing the dresses be our associates. So really was kind of full, all internal experience where you got to meet, a dozen people as a part of the experience. And number two is we're moments away from being able to do that when we're actually stepping it up even further. Now we've layered on some outside influencer talent. It's a very close brand friend of ours, Rahel Brain, who is here with us to co-host it today. So that's been another important element for us to test out of kind of that mix of internal Abercrombie associates with friends of the brand and influencers out in the world that we know our customers love. So she's with us today, and as well as a couple new faces from associates as well. So that's a big part of it, is kind of the physical environment we're bringing. The other big part, though, for customers to experience is that online interaction. There's live comments. Our hosts will say hello and call out someone's username, or someone will put a question in, and live they'll be able to talk about what a model's measurements might be, or how something feels, or someone will ask us to zoom in and we'll move the camera up to look at a pattern or whatever it might be. We have commenting happening in the comment section as well to clarify questions or provide links to where something might be. So there's a lot of engagement in that way with customers, and for customers to talk to one another while they're in it as well.
Yeah, well, first, thanks for taking the time today. Obviously a busy day for you with the second shoot. Congratulations. That sounds really cool. So which leads into a good segue into my next question, in terms of, you mentioned this opportunity just kind of came about recently. You've really had to act quickly here and get moving on this, which I'm interested in kind of internally. What does that mean for the production process? What teams are involved? Obviously, you're from the marketing side of the business. The teams that are involved in kind of planning these live shopping events, the talent you've worked with, the products that are featured. Tell us a little about kind of that internal discussion and, which needed to happen, pretty quickly.
Yes, it did need to happen very quickly. When Facebook initially brought it to us, to be honest, there was a little bit of a part of us that were like, oh, I don't know if we can take this on. This is going to happen quickly, and do we have the ability to kind of chase ourselves into it? And it really was one of those opportunities that we said it's invaluable to test it and to have Facebook there every step of the way, helping to guide us. So we ultimately took it on, but we knew it was going to be a feat to try and quickly execute. And it has really been an all hands on deck type approach. There are a lot of people, and at Facebook's advisement, we from the beginning have looked at these in the same way you would of, these are 20 to 30 minute online moments. How do we create a 20 to 30 minute live in-person moment? It's really the same amount of effort and the same teams that go into it. We just happen to be doing it digitally instead. So it really has started as a brainstorm between the marketing teams and the merchandising teams to say, when should they happen? What products make sense for us to talk about? What are problems we can help customers solve that we know that they struggle with, especially right now, as again, we're all getting back out into the world and dressing like adults again. So it really starts from the product and customer mindset. Then we start to bring in our influence and social teams when we think about talent, whether that's hosts or models. How many do we need? Who do we think would be great on camera to talk about a particular topic? Where do we have some expertise that could be really beneficial to buyers and audience members? We get production involved. There is an entire behind the scenes happening that you never see on camera, but from ushering our associate models around to ensure that they can quickly change, and we can answer questions. We have multiple people connected to laptops ready to comment. So we have customer service teams who are part of it. Our styling team is involved. We have our design and copy when we think about our promotion of the events before, or a recap of the events after. We have our good friends in legal who've been involved the whole time when you handle or when you run live events, there's been a lot of interest from them. So it really is an all hands on deck, and there's a lot of people integrated throughout the whole process to ensure that we're thinking of all the things that customers are going to need.
Yeah. And sounds like a whole lot of work, but also I would imagine this is kind of some of the fun things that you get to do, and kind of get to show
Absolutely.
off. So people probably, it's a lot of hard work, but something that they really can take pride in, and you can pull this off, and it's something that your customers will hopefully love.
Absolutely. After we finished our first one, and officially stopped the recording button, there was a very loud cheer from the whole room, who was pretty proud that we had just pulled it off, and in the matter of just a few weeks. So yes, it's definitely been fun.
Yeah, quite the accomplishment. Which I wanted to talk about kind of, when you embark on a campaign like this, and a partnership with Facebook for this test. I would imagine that there's a discussion around some of, okay, what are our goals? What do we hope to accomplish as we enter this? Tell us a little bit about what those might be for Abercrombie, from its participation in this live shopping events that you're participating with Facebook.
Yeah, so there's a lot of varying goals, and I think at this early stage of what live shopping means in the total marketplace, there's a lot of intangibles and there's a lot of tangibles that we're looking at, is not just was that event successful, but key indicators of what might make future events successful. So of course we're looking at sales. At the end of the day, that's a big part of it, but also engagement throughout. How many people showed up live? How many people joined in after the event was live, but while it was still posted? How many people asked questions and felt open to comment? And what was overall sentiment, both of the event, of the talent, of the product that we showcased? Is there feedback that we've gotten afterwards for different things that consumers want to see out of us? There's also a whole behind the scenes that we're learning a lot about. We really embarked on this and said we have a lot to learn about who has to be involved and what role does everyone play, and how do you pull something like this off, and how often long term should we think about doing things like this? So there's so much we went into this ready to learn, and that's kind of part of the test and learn mentality and environment that is Abercrombie in total. To innovate and to stay ahead of where customers are, that means we need to keep trying new things, and this is just one more of them. But what I can say is we're very pleased from number one. We have high hopes for number two that's about to happen here shortly, and there's a lot more planned in the future.
So from a marketing perspective, and again, we're in a compressed time frame here. How do you quickly get the word out to your audience, to all your customers, that these are taking place? What has kind of been the sprint like there, and the channels, different ways that you've communicated with your customers to get the awareness out that these live shoppable events are taking place?
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of ways long term. I would say we're still figuring out the right mix. A ton of it happens in the social space, as you might expect, and also what we're trying right now is to cross promote across platforms. So how can we use Instagram to promote on Facebook, or tweet out that we're about to go live? So really looking at social as an ecosystem to drive to. Another big place that has made a lot of sense is with those who have downloaded our app and signed up for push notifications. It's a great way, day before and day of, to let you know we're about to go live and to tune in. The email channel in certain ways makes sense to do it. Our influencer talent, as we continue to roll them in, are playing a big role in promotion and bringing the experience to life. So I think we still have a lot to learn about the best way to kind of get the word out, and how far in advance you even need to give people a heads up before they're ready to tune in.
And then finally, for me, Megan, you've talked about kind of the future, and then how this could potentially play into, as a test, what social commerce and some of the live streaming things that you might have coming down the road. Tell us a little bit about kind of how social commerce might factor into Abercrombie and Fitch's plans going forward.
Sure. So social commerce is a pillar of the company as a whole. It's a huge part of the brand. It is a phrase used probably every day on the marketing team right now. And our CEO, Fran Horitz, has discussed our early ownership of social selling to our company investments in becoming a global omni-channel retailer. So it's a huge a pillar of the brand throughout leadership, down to those executing every day. So we manifest social selling across paid, earned, and owned channels. So live shopping is just one more lever to pull within social commerce that we're really excited to continue to explore. And even our influencer team recently won Influencer Marketers of the Year award for their innovation and success in this space. So we've proven that we as a brand and as a company are successful in it, but we never stop innovating and have a lot more ideas on how to continue to evolve ourselves in the social commerce space.
Yeah, and congratulations on the recognition there.
Thank you.
It's great to hear.
Thank you.
So I want to take the opportunity to thank Megan Brophy, the Senior Director of Marketing at Abercrombie and Fitch, as well as Abercrombie Kids, for joining us on today's episode of Total Retail Talks and telling us a little bit about the company's live shopping initiative with Facebook. So thank you for joining me, Megan.
Thank you very much. It's been fun.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.
Reduce customer friction, increase conversions, and personalize the shopping experience as demand changes. Quantum Metric makes it possible through a shared, quantified, and continuous view of customer signals. Find out how at quantummetric.com.